Uh, so a very warm welcome and good afternoon, depending upon the time zone you're in. I'm really excited to have with us five unique individuals from the world of e-commerce and retail with us. First of all, I would like to take this opportunity to say thank you uh, to our wonderful panelists. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining this North America E-commerce Growth Summit 2021 and for taking out time. Without further ado, I would like to begin with a formal introduction of our panelists. Let me begin with Jodi. Jodi Slater. Jodi is the founder of Bytten.com, and she has also been the co-founder of Gloss 48 for previously. She has studied computer and mathematics at the University of Pennsylvania and did her MS in the field of study interaction design from Carnegie Mellon University. She has been in the wearable tech space and has been a fashion entrepreneur for quite some time. And she is a customer experience specialist with her experiences in multi-channel strategy, digital and new media, retail, and luxury consumer behavior, along with software product design and development. She also has focused a lot of her time in user-centered design and usability. Her specialties is in the field of retail and digital strategy, product design and marketing strategy. And along with that, she is keenly interested in digital transformation businesses based in traditional media. Jodi, so glad to have you. Thank you so much for joining the panel.
You. I'm delighted to be here.
Wonderful. Next, we have on the panel is Kat Merryfield. Kat is the owner and founder of Kat's Natural, which is into CBD oil and hemp product business. Kat has graduated from Clayton College in 2016, with a natural health and nutrition degree with an emphasis in homeopathy. She has experience in developing herbal products and formulation, and she has also worked as a dietary consultant and later transitioned into homesteading. She has passion to create a better world through natural medicines and plants, and she loves to grow and forage for plants with medicinal property and make natural remedies with them. Kat, so glad to have you with us on the panel.
Thank you for having me.
Wonderful. Next, we have on the panel is Stefan McKellar. Stefan is the CEO and co-founder of Nanocraft CBD. Stefan is also in the space of CBD products, and he's also on the advisory board of San Diego Sports Innovators and has tremendous experience in the field of sales and marketing. And he is kind of created Nanocraft CBD and is the second largest CBD education group on Facebook. He kind of makes sure that product education is the key point that their business is focused on. And Nanocraft CBD was the first CBD brand to officially partner up with ski resorts and national lacrosse team, making it as a global milestone in the hemp industry. And Stephen is instrumental in philanthropy and their business contribute $1 from each product sold to charitable organizations. Stephen, thank you so much for joining in on the panel.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Next we have on the panel is Adam Bolden. Adam is the CEO at Swet Tailor. Which is into fashion and apparel industry. Adam has done his BS in finance and international business from University of California, San Diego, and he's the co-founder of Blend Management as well. He has tremendous experience in the field of sales and marketing, and with experiences in merchandising as well. Adam, thank you so much for joining in.
Thank you.
Next, we have on the panel with us is Aaron Argueta. Aaron is the managing partner of Baileyshemp, and Aaron has graduated from Golden West College and has tremendous experience in the field of sales and marketing, forex trading as well as developing marketing campaigns. He loves pets and animals. So Aaron, thank you so much for joining to the panel. I'm so happy and delighted. And let me ask this first question to all of you. That is the purpose of why you do what you do. That is the purpose of your business. Let me begin with Kat. Yeah, Kat.
What now?
The purpose of your brand.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear who you were starting with. The purpose of my brand is actually to bring organic, consistent microdosing solutions to people who have chronic stress, sleeplessness, and pain issues.
Wonderful. Let me go to Jodi. Jodi, what's the purpose of your brand?
Hi. So this event, high level, is providing wearable tech, making wearable tech more beautiful so that people will wear it more and have healthier lives. So at first that was about transforming a Fitbit into a piece of jewelry. And we've worked a little bit into customization of, using stacking rings of jewelry so you can make it more personal.
Excellent. Wow, that's tremendous. Let me go to Stefan.
Yeah, our mission is to create innovative CBD products that improve people's lives with an emphasis on athletics and recovery.
Wonderful. Aaron, how about you?
Hey, yeah, our purpose and our passion and our mission here at Bailey's CBD for Pets is literally to help as many pets as possible with the guidance and the aid of, veterinarian formulated full spectrum CBD products for our pets. We work tirelessly to focus directly on pets, and for every 4 items that we sell online, we donate a bottle to a rescue in need. Every month we partner with a different rescue and we help raise as much awareness as possible and donate a nice care package to that rescue. Is our purpose to make an impact on the pet community.
Wow, amazing, excellent. Let me go to Adam.
Yeah, so Swet Tailor is a retail new casual brand that offers fabric innovation in everyday attire, specifically for men's right now, although we do a ton of private label in the women's space, especially in retailers like SoulCycle, Equinox, Facebook, Rumble, and Google. But whether it's casual, professional, or active, Swet Tailor offers comfort, style, and affordability.
Excellent. Wow. So with a very strong purpose that you have entered into business, yes, last year has been challenging for everyone. So how are you guys looking forward to 2021? What is the mission of your brand for 2021 and for the next 5 years? Where do you want to see your business going forward? Let me go to Stephen.
Yeah, so it's been being in the CBD space in general has, you learn to pivot very quickly. I came up with this concept in 2015, and since then there's many things have changed, from the types of products to research to pretty much everything in the market. It's such a fast moving market, and there's so many changes that happen that, at 2020, while it mainly affected our wholesale side of the business. In 2019, 30% of our revenue came from wholesale clients. We sell nationwide. We had a couple deals lined up with some large box retailers such as Kroger's, and they didn't come through. So in 2020, we shifted about 95% of our sales online. So for 2021, I think number one, just be open to what comes. We're so used to changing and pivoting so quickly that, while it's unfortunate that COVID happened, it hasn't affected our business too much. Definitely a little bit. But 2021, just looking for different opportunities. We target sports, as mentioned. So we sponsor professional athletes, and as the different sports markets open up, we continue to pave the way with conversations. We're in conversations like Miami Heat with a bunch of soccer teams. And as the organizations allow for sponsorships in CBD, we try and be there in that initial conversation. So continuing to expand the CBD market into the sports space is our main goal for 2021. and definitely focus more online than anything else, due to COVID and the uncertainty. But we keep all of our options open. We like to not put all of our eggs in one basket and just be open to different opportunities.
Wonderful. That's a great thought process. And as you said it rightly, so you are kind of making sure that you are empowering the professionals and by working with them and by being with them right from the very beginning to help them grow themselves. That's amazing.
Yeah. Most of the sports organizations, the conversations that we have, they're so used to giving painkillers and opioids. A lot of teams are looking to pivot from there and explore different, natural medicines and things like that. And, CBD has such a benefit for recovery, even though we can't really promote that. But, the feedback from our athletes is that, better sleep, deeper sleep, faster recovery, and which is imperative for their success in competition.
Wonderful. That's amazing, Stephen. More power to you. Let me go to Jodi. Jodi, you are in a very, very amazing space, especially with what you have built. And taking into account what's happening, I think healthcare is a space which is growing by leaps and bounds, and we are going to see a lot of technology innovation happening. Probably we are going to see more bands coming in, more trackers coming in order to kind of track more data from, because every individual is unique. And I think with the right amount of data, a lot of information can be tracked and can help the physicians when they are doing the diagnostics for a patient. And you're in a very, very unique space. So how do you blend all this with your product? I mean, I would love to hear your thought process on this.
Well, that's an interesting question. I think early on in the beginning, I wanted to make wearable tech devices. Like it was a whole different thing. And that's a separate story, but I decided to start by sort of dipping my toe in the water and taking a Fitbit, which was an existing device, and making it more beautiful so that people would, me, myself included, want to wear it. And so in 2014, Fitbit had 68% of the market, and it was sort of simple at first because I was focusing on Fitbit. I was 3D printing our jewelry, which was nice because it was easy to try new things without committing into holding a lot of inventory. But quickly, as the world changed and the market diversified in terms of people making accessories for Fitbit, there were tons of other competitors to Fitbit, and Fitbit itself started changing its form factor every time you blinked, which was challenging for us. So we've consciously decided, at some point I had to have a hard moment where I said, I'm not going to do these medical devices that I wanted that were going to improve people's lives in a more significant way. I'm going to focus on allowing people to make their devices more appealing. And that's what we're doing. So in 2016, so we still have products for Fitbit, but I would say Apple Watch bands and Apple Watch sport bands are 95% of our market. We have all kinds of jewelry to customize them. I don't know if you can see this here. This is, well, whatever. You can check it out later, but it's really just about making it a little more fun and a little more personal. So I guess we're hoping to continue our innovation. I'm sort of blending this with your last question, but 2020 was challenging for a number of reasons, and our business grew a lot. So we're now trying, and part of the ways that our business has grown, and we've seen this since the beginning when we were 3D printing products, is that people want to customize everything. In the beginning, it was like, I want, your favorite sports team's logo on your jewelry, or you want your college, whatever. Right now we offer engraved rings, which are hugely popular and somewhat labor intensive. And people are actually using them to say, people will say type 2 diabetic or, some kind of an allergy. And they also use it to remember people they loved or pets that they loved or dates or whatever. But there's a big trend in customization. So I think we're going to stay the course with, we're not making our own device. We may experiment in bands because a lot of there's so many third-party players who are making bands for all the devices, and that makes our lives more complicated. So if we give you a band with our jewelry, then it's an easier, we don't have to worry about that as much. And that's a secret.
Wonderful.
But
That's amazing. That's amazing. So you are,
we're
yeah.
focused on, like, how do we scale, given that
Mhm.
we have very high touch,
Mhm.
customize, the engraving is complicated, but what's the best way to scale operations to keep up with demand, which
Yeah.
is actually not my expertise. I'm all about making sure the customer is happy and making things they want. So that's our challenge.
Excellent. Wow. That's a unique thought process. And ultimately, you are complementing an existing set of product with your own innovation. That always finds its place in the consumer's mind because people love design and people are always looking at gadgets which are beautiful. And I think what you're doing is really complementing that. So excellent. Let me go to Kat. Kat, the next question that I have for you is around how do you do your consumer engagement? What is your marketing strategy for this year?
Well, we have a lot of different technicalities in the CBD space that make it very important to get up close and personal with your customers.
Mhm.
We're not allowed to market on Facebook or on Google or things like that. So in order for us to really engage with our customers and market to them, we treat them like individuals who are very, very important to us.
Mhm.
And, we do a lot of social media engagement, a lot of educational engagement. So we write blog posts, do different challenges with our customers to get them to respond back to us so
Mhm.
that we can continue that conversation. We created segmentation within our demographics because we saw that we had a customer base that, yes, was, around 25 to 65, but that's huge. And then we had to decide, what are their spending habits? What are they really there for? And we noticed that some of the younger people were using our products for, say, sleep and just dealing with little stress issues, whereas some of our older customers were using it for pain relief or chronic conditions. And then we had another segment where people were looking for extra strength or professional strength products that mirrored the Epidiolex that was on the market. So we created segmentation within our product range to gear our marketing towards those individuals. And that's really helped.
Wonderful. That's a great thought process, especially considering the challenges and how you are overcoming them. And especially in the CBD space, I think the product education is the single most important parameter in order to make sure that the consumer engagement is happening and the consumers are well aware of all the things. And I think you're doing it really well. Excellent. Let me go to Adam. And Adam, what are your goals for the next 5 years for your brand?
It's a good question. We can start with let's talk about the first year, right? 365 days from now.
Yeah.
So what we've noticed was that, trends pre-corona, men were looking to be more comfortable in their wardrobe, but still needing to look polished enough, and the ability to wear styles to all or most their daily activities without changing. And our whole thesis and what we predicate our business on is every day, everywhere. So you can take that one staple outfit, be comfortable enough, but still look the part in many facets of your day. So what we've been doing during COVID was essentially ramping up our inventory, because as people were forced to work from home or work from anywhere that wasn't an office, so to speak, they were looking for style and comfort, but more so comfort than anything else, right?
Yeah.
And we offered that. We were kind of early sitting at this dinner table a few years ago, waiting for the market to shift. Never could we anticipate a pandemic positively impacting our business, but here we are, it did. And if anything, it just kind of fast forwarded the trends in men's fashion, so to speak. So what we're doing for the next year and the next 5 years is, currently right now we're doing a Series A round. Our valuation has increased dramatically. We've also done, to set the foundation for the next 3 to 5 years, was take in much larger retailers over the last 6 months We took in Nordstrom, we took in Dick's Sporting Goods, we took in Kohl's on a private label basis. So all those things are going to dramatically increase our exposure and our cash flow. And we're certainly thrilled with that. But more importantly, at the end of the day, because when you look at our percentage breakdown of direct consumer sales versus wholesale sales, over 65% of our sales are still from online.
Wonderful.
And what we've learned, this is pretty crucial. What we've learned is that over the last 6 months during COVID, that has accelerated retail 5 times. So that shift isn't going to necessarily slow down, even though wholesale stores are going to open up again.
Yeah.
People, particularly people 45 and older who are somewhat used to shopping in store, we're forced to shop online now. And once you become an online purchaser, especially with the advent of Amazon, it becomes really easy to buy online versus going into store.
Yeah.
So we're doing 3 things. We're raising money to basically help our 2 pillars of our business, which is wholesale and online. And we are going on a massive hiring squad right now to tremendously bolster our direct consumer channels.
Wow.
So over the next 5 years, we'll probably roll out, stores. Can't tell you how many and where we're going to roll them out to, but we're going to roll out physical stores. We're going to try to keep it to a lower number because we don't believe in rolling out to 50 to 100 stores. And the most important thing out of all this, by the end of 2021, we want to reach profitability and scale from there.
Wow, excellent. Wow. So you're utilizing this time and the challenges, which has actually the challenges of 2020 has accelerated digital adoption like never before. I mean, what companies have thought of doing, let's say 10 years down the line for digital, they're doing it in a span of 6 months to 1 year. So I think your business is taking that advantage, and I'm really happy that you've already mapped out all the things. And that one point, it really resonated with me, how you are able to kind of acquire that new set of users above 45, and because they typically always prefer the offline shopping, but because of the pandemic, I think suddenly everything shifted online, and I think that adaptation happened quickly. Wow, it's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Certainly.
Awesome. Let me go to Aaron. And Aaron, you are in a very, very unique space. And for pets, you have CBD products. And how did you find your early adopters when you launched your business?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question one more time?
Yeah. When you launched your business, how did you found your early adopters? Like the people, like for CBD products, it's always like regular consumers, but for pets, when someone is buying, like a pet owner, how did you make that product education, and how did you find your first few customers? Like, I'm really curious to know that.
Sure. Well, just so you all understand, we're here in Costa Mesa, California, in Orange County, which is literally like the dog capital of the world. People spend the absolute most on their pets and treat them like, their children here more so than anywhere in the United States and the world, I would say, especially as we're neighboring, very high-end cities like Newport Beach and Laguna Hills, stuff like that. So just geo-located in this region, we started working with a handful of retailers who started supporting our products. And the thing is, Bailey's actually a real dog. My business partner, Jay, his 9-year-old pug is Bailey. That's Bailey. So, having our business based around a real dog, us being real pet parents, people who really have pets and really care for our pets.
Wow.
That was a big point for us to be able to, understand how to get into the mindset of all the other pet parents that are out there, especially the ones who are at the highest of caliber in our local area, the ones who ask the most questions, the ones who require the highest levels of transparency, and the ones who just scream for exert levels of quality. So we had to really listen in on that. And, whether it be, I would say 2018, I probably did 200 shows, at least 3-4 days a week. I was out there, doing pop-ups, talking to customers. I have an 844 number, 844 PET CBD. For a long time, I was just answering the calls and, just getting that direct feedback from pet parents. and really just going out there and having these conversations. And early on, we partnered with Dr. Robert J. Silver, who's a 30+ year respected veterinarian in Colorado. He saw the level of passion that we exerted for pets, and the level of knowledge that we had about the hemp plant, and our approach and the mindset of that from our healing background prior to working with pets, and the CBD plant and hemp plant in general. Dr. Silver fell in love with us, and we fell in love with Dr. Silver. He supported us 110%. So with his guidance from all those years of studying the effects of CBD on cats, dogs, and horses in Colorado, we were able to get a ton of useful feedback and information and guidance that we were able to translate to our end customers. And for a lot of them, that's a huge thing, especially because their pets are like their children, and they want to know that a good company is backing it with a veterinarian on hand, and that there's good values going into it. So we just scream our values. We build social proof like no other. We do our absolute best to really engage with that end consumer, whether it be on SMS, which we use Emotive, or Octane AI, which we use for our Facebook Messenger bot, or our Klaviyo account, and really just like getting to know our customer and segment deeper, and to cater to those people. That's been huge for us, and really finding those pain points and writing a ton of content, getting our blog off the ground, and really setting ourselves as the authority. Last year, we wrote a book on CBD for pets with Dr. Silver.
Wow.
We provide that to all of our wholesale accounts. We offer it on our website. So education is everything, and really connecting with our end consumer and really getting to know them. So that was really how we got our momentum, and our early adopters was just going out there, talking to people, figuring out what their needs were, and working our butts off tirelessly in order to meet those needs, and to ensure that our product was at the level of standards that the highest level the pet market was requiring.
Wow, that's amazing. Wow, it's a really, really amazing thought process. And I must say that you really found a niche for yourself, and the way you are taking things forward, I think sky's the limit for your business growth. Excellent. So nice to hear that. And I really like the thought process that it's coming from your own thing. It's like when you are emotionally involved in the business that you are doing, you won't feel it like work. You always feel like you're helping yourself, you're helping others, you are constantly kind of bringing that change or adding value to someone's life. So tremendous. That's something I really, really admire. Wow. Let me go to Stephen. And Stephen, as you said it rightly, that you are in a very unique space, and you're empowering community. And at the same time, you're not just doing business, but you are in philanthropy as well. How is how do you see the role of businesses and society? I mean, what are your thoughts in kind of how business is built for profit, but how businesses and profitability can be actually done in a manner so that it kind of empowers society? Because I think people these days are becoming more and more conscious about buying products from brands which are socially responsible. So how do you look at that?
Well, I think it starts with my vision, and I have a vision that's unwavering, and that's definitely to help others, to give back, and to add value to people's lives. And so when I have a vision like that, I apply that towards every area of my life. So getting into the CBD space, number one, as an entrepreneur, I saw the up and coming and emerging market in the CBD space. My mom has epilepsy. I've seen how it really helps her. So I try to encompass everything that I believe in when creating something. So when I create a product, while obviously being profitable as a business is the most, is extremely important, right? That's the definition of a business, is to be profitable and make capital. But also, when you believe in something, when I believe in something, I put my heart and soul into creating everything that I make. And I knew right away that it was unwavering, the fact that I want to give back. Before I started my CBD business, I did a lot of coaching and leadership coaching, and I volunteered my time a lot. And to incorporate that into my business was never even a question. So we work with a couple of children's charities, and I'm very hands-on with it. With homeless children around San Diego, we throw events for them, pizza parties, take them to the movies, and I think as a brand, everything's important. You know, I see a lot of companies and I see a lot of restaurants or whatever it is. You go in and you're like, okay, well, the food's good, but the place is weird, or the food sucks, and okay, it's cool ambiance. Look at these businesses, like, it's everything matters to me. Like every single detail matters, from the packaging to the way you present something to the quality of the product. And I think as a business owner, it's the most important thing to really think of the details. And I'm very detail oriented. Like if you open our packaging, the way it's screen printed, there's nothing like it really on the market. And we were the first ones to do it, how we did it. But giving back is part of your contribution to society. And I think absolutely every business should do it in some way or another, you know, and it's great that while I see a lot of businesses doing it now, whether it's for, they actually want to give back or whatever it is, it's for marketing, regardless of the fact, I think it's important for every business to do that.
Wow, that's tremendous. I must say, that's really commendable, what you're doing. And I think more power to you. And because I think people these days, like brands like Patagonia or everyone, I mean, the biggest brands who have built trust with consumers are able to achieve the kind of scale that has never been thought of. And I think they are going beyond the traditional thought process. And I think what you're doing is really, really, really important. Excellent work. Let me go to Kat now. And Kat, as you mentioned, the challenges of, because the traditional channels of advertising are kind of not available, and you have to figure out your own ways of doing that product education through the other channels which are available. How do you differentiate, or what are those few unique things that you do for creating that product education or for transferring the knowledge about your products to your end consumers? How do you do that?
Well, before the pandemic, of course, like these other CBD brands, you know, we used to go out in the public, and that was key because, you know, visiting those public sectors where there's a lot of people milling around gives you the opportunity to get one-on-one, get their questions, give out samples, allow them to give you feedback, and then utilize that feedback in bettering your business. You know, now we have to do a lot of things online. So I'm becoming a lot more creative with our social media. We had kind of gone towards doing what everybody else was doing on social media, and it was starting to look really corporate. And that's not what my company was built off of. You know, like these other CBD brands here, you know, we were built off of us having an experience with CBD. You know, my husband was military, and it helped him with the things that he got from, you know, post-traumatic stress and from just the strain of the military. And so, you know, using that and adopting that now in our social media has allowed us to make our connections again with our customers. And, you know, those connections are key to our marketing strategy. Also, you know, educational blogs, I hear, you know, that these other companies are also doing that because it's our only way to reach out. And we put together, you know, booklets and working with our wholesalers to help educate them more, because the more they can spread the word to their customers, the more marketing we're going to get for free. And of course, we want the customer to return to us. So we do a lot of customer follow-up, which then they're going to turn around and tell their friends and family, hey, this is the company that I want to use. So that's more free marketing. So really, you know, building a CBD company in this space and in the past, it was all about how the customer responds to your brand, to your products, and who they're going to reach out to help with, you know, furthering that.
Wow, that's a very, very amazing thought process. And kudos to you that you're taking, because I think when you're solving a problem, I think you figure out tremendous or various ways actually, and there's no obstacle as such, I think. And I think with a better product education, it's just a matter of time that it becomes more mainstream and people are more aware of it, and then it becomes so easy, and then you do not have to kind of, you can then spend your creativity on other types of marketing. So I really like that, Kat. Thank you so much. Adam, my next question for you is, as you're planning to go for funding and like you built your business over the years, and how do you see kind of bootstrapping versus funding. What do you think would be the advantage that you're getting? Definitely, it will be an accelerated growth, but with accelerated growth, there will be tremendous amount of I can't use the word pressure, but I can say that expectation that okay, now that you are raising this round of funding, your business should earn this much revenue, uh, and so that expectation. How are you thinking in that direction? What is your thought?
So when we launched in 2015, my business partner and I bootstrapped this business for over 2 years.
Mhm.
And it was difficult. Obviously, we would have liked to gone out and raise money, but at that time, given our revenue level, uh, we would have to sacrifice a large percentage of ownership to the outside funding world.
Mhm.
So what my business partner and I did was we bootstrapped it for as long as we possibly could, put a lot of our savings into it. And when we were ready, we felt we could go to a bank like a First Republic or a Wells Fargo or a Chase. And we ended up acquiring about $250,000 line of credit.
Mhm.
And while we had to make personal guarantees on it, at that point in time, to us, it wasn't a proof of concept business. We knew there was a real business behind this. It was just going to take a little bit of time for the rest of retail to catch up and understand what we're trying to do and achieve. So we put a lot of faith in ourselves. We took out a line of credit. We grew the business from like $200,000 in like 2017
Mhm.
to over like $1.2 million of revenue in 2018. But we knew from there that $250,000 line of credit wasn't going to get us much further. So at that point, after exhausting all of our resources and not being able to pull any more of our savings, we then decided to do a Series Seed round and go after angel investors because the company was still small enough where we could reach angel investors and not necessarily have to go to VCs. However, what we did do at that same time was while we went out to the angel investor world, we started to talk to VCs just to let them know who we were and what we were looking to do,
Yeah.
so that when we have to do a bridge round or subsequently a Series A,
Mhm.
we wouldn't be in a frantic mode trying to identify who these VCs would be to help us get us to the next level.
Mhm.
So obviously, you have to know you're going to give up equity, but if you believe in your company and
Yeah.
you see how you can increase revenue in different channels, then you know you have a good plan. And as long as you have good angel investors who aren't really on the operational side,
Yeah.
and you have good VCs that understand your business and have been doing your due diligence for at least like the last 2 to 3 years,
Mhm.
by the time you're ready to raise,
Yeah.
it'll be a much easier conversation to have with both parties and to digest whatever equity you have to give up.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, absolutely. I mean, that's really a good way to look at things, and I think, and while raising funding, what are some of the challenges that you face? Like you went to Angel, then you want to raise a Series A. Which one did you found more difficult, or I can't say it's easy, but How did you overcome it? Like, how did you pitch your brand to an
It's
investor?
never easy. In fact, like when I get off this call with you guys, I have 5 hours of investor calls after this. So this is kind of like a
Ah.
warm-up round.
Uh-huh.
Look, we have about 15 different angel investors, 5 of which are professional athletes. 2 are retired Hall of Fame football players.
Mhm.
So to them, it's a little bit easier because we talk to them all the time and they understand what we're doing. I'm also in Mobile, Alabama right now for the Senior Bowl, which is where all these like senior college football players are getting ready to be drafted in the NFL. So we have a really nice pipeline into the NFL for potential investors. So the angels who are professional athletes understand what we're doing. They see our level of achievement. They see our scale. So it's easier for us to get, a second investment from them or a third investment from them. Where it becomes a little bit difficult is when we talk to these VCs. Sometimes they don't want to write a small enough check or they want to write a big enough check. But the problem is
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
investors that I need to protect on their equity, right?
Mhm.
So I don't have an easy answer for you,
Yeah.
but you're literally juggling about 30 balls in the air and you're trying to make you're a CEO of a company and you're also a manager of all of your investors. So you have to wear
Yeah.
2 hats. You have to protect their investment
Yeah.
and you have to make sure that you have enough money in this company to get you to the next level. So While there's
Yeah.
no easy answer, is make sure you protect everyone's interest in a fair and equitable way. And I believe you'll land the plane smoothly.
Well, that's amazing. That's what I mentioned. Like, it's not that easy, but I think what you're doing is excellent, because convincing someone that your business is real and projections and the numbers speaks volumes. And I think you have already convinced a lot of them, and it's just a matter of time. And I think more power to you. Excellent.
Yeah.
Let me go to Jodi. And Jodi, you built your business, and like as I was talking earlier, like technology is growing by leaps and bounds. How do you see your business for the next 5 years? I mean, like, where do you see your business like growing, or are you trying to do something unique to kind of position yourself differently from the existing competitors? How do you do that?
Wow, that's a good question. I think we chose not to raise money, so we have grown organically. And I think our plan for the next few years is more about an exit. And the way we are thinking about that is that it would be a strategic sort of alignment with a jewelry company who probably didn't have a lot of digital bench strength, who wanted to get more into wearable tech and the digital space. And let me back up for a second. I'm a digital e-commerce software tech person / designer, but early on, and I started with 3D printing thinking this is like a beautiful thing. It's, I can test the waters, but immediately Target and a lot of retailers wanted to sell our stuff for like a lot less than we were selling it, because they wanted something else to sell with the Fitbit. So we did that a couple times. We did a retail deal with Target in our second year. And then I said, that was interesting. I learned a lot. I'm not doing that again. Our core strength is direct to consumer. We didn't have control over the brand. It was like drinking from a fire hose. Fine. Then Best Buy came along. It's going to be different. It's for Mother's Day. It's smaller, blah, blah, blah. Did it again slightly differently. So we've grown, and right now we are focused on direct to consumer e-commerce. We get a lot of requests for wholesale, different than mass retail, but boutique-y kind of things. And we're kind of staying the course and sticking to what we know how to do well. So the next few years are going to be just growth, streamlining operations, and looking for a good partner for the end game.
Wow.
If that makes sense. I mean, there's a lot of room. The challenge for us is that I think one of things that's made us successful is we're very hands-on. I spend more time than I would ever be willing to admit to myself on customer service. Like all day long, whether it's pre-sales, questions, post-sales, issues. I learn so much from those interactions.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of other places in the business where it's high touch. I can't remember who said this about the packaging, but our packages come like presents. They're wrapped, they have handwritten notes. It's like we want you to feel special getting it. And those are all things that I think are important and differentiate us, because anybody can make, and believe me, a lot of people have copied us, make jewelry for your devices. But what we have is that we are listening to our customers. Our product roadmap is so informed by what our customers ask for. So I don't know if I'm really answering your question, but I think the next few years are about streamlining top line growth and or profitable growth, and figuring out how to exit or position or partner with someone who will.
Yeah. No, I think you answered it really nicely. And I think I really like the way you put it, because I think consumers are the king. I think consumers exist. That's why we exist, like brands exist and product exists. So ultimately it has to be thought of backwards. So if you're keeping consumers at the forefront all the time, I think you'll always win, and which you're doing it rightly. And customer service is the number one point that always can beat anything. I mean, it can be traditional marketing, because I think with that, you can build the kind of trust and you can have the lifetime value that you may never thought of, because that one good experience and you have won your customers for their entire life. So excellent thought process. Thank you for sharing that. My next question for all of you, and this is something which is very, very, I must say, I can say it can be hypothetical or a real, but let's say given a choice, you have $1 million to spend on, let's say $1 million is your marketing budget, and where will you spend it? How do you spend your $1 million of marketing budget in order to acquire those new customers, and how will you do it? Let me go to Aaron to begin with for this.
Sure. To start with, I would go strong with the prospecting campaign, where I can really just get the biggest bucket of people hitting my pixels, and explore non-traditional routes like Taboola, and using a strong retargeting campaign on socials with like a Facebook, Instagram strategy. Because our brand is Bailey's, a healthy pet's a happy pet, we really we do a lot of focused social media. We're able to advertise on Facebook and Instagram as Bailey's, a healthy pet's a happy pet, and we just correlate healthy pets, happy pets with Bailey's, and that's the end thing is, our consumers want to make their pets feel happy and healthy. So I would do a strong prospecting campaign to like a blog, or some sort of email opt-in, something of small significant value where I can get their information. I would just start acquiring lists. I want emails, phone numbers, and I want to connect. I want to have them in my Octane AI Facebook Messenger bot. Mm-hmm. So if I can acquire their data on those 3 channels, that is going to give me significant lifetime value. And it's just about really getting that top of funnel offer through the door, so that I can get down to focusing on, getting that 7 to 14x ROI on the back end with the lifetime value, with, really hyper segmenting the Klaviyo segments, hyper segmenting, our emotive segments, building a lot more quizzes. Mm-hmm. We were one of the first brands to build a quiz on Octane AI Facebook bot. So, building quizzes to really personalize that experience and add value, and just, I would really just focus it on building those lists. I would want to have as many emails, phone numbers, and Facebook Messenger connections as I possibly could with that, with a strong prospecting retargeting campaign to nurture that.
Wow, amazing. Excellent, man. I mean, I must say, you nailed it. Excellent. I think, how about you, Kat? Definitely. I mean, again, the question is, how would you spend $1 million of your marketing budget? Considering all the challenges, but how will you spend it and acquire those customers that you are looking for, because you already know your buyer persona really well. So how will you do that?
Well, the first thing I would do is expand our new podcast. We've been working on something called the Good Medicine Show, mm-hmm. where we can spread more and more education. I would actually break into the international market a little bit harder. Mm-hmm. We're finding a lot of success internationally, and I would do more marketing over there where some of their restrictions are different than ours. I would probably put more into our website so that we could build more quizzes to help really personalize the experience, as well as beef up our SEO and do more retargeting, like he was saying. Yeah. And then I would put probably more actual men on the ground and expand our territory so that people could take our brand and personally educate the stores.
Wow, good. That's a good thought process. Absolutely amazing. How about you, Stephen? How would you approach it in terms of marketing?
Well, there's a few variables. Assuming the economy opens up this year, I mean, that's going to determine a lot of different things. Mm-hmm. One of our largest expenses for the wholesale was doing trade shows and traveling, et cetera, whereas last year we didn't spend $1 on that.
Yeah.
There's a variable in there. I would say that definitely, kind of like what Aaron said, number one, building many more funnels, lots of testing, probably hiring a little more, some more people to just manage that specifically. Definitely Facebook ads, Instagram ads. There are ways to advertise to educational sites, et cetera. So a lot of split testing on there. Since we are sports based, definitely we'd explore some partnerships with some athletes and potentially some teams. Everything that we've done so far is leveraging what we've done and what we have. So we know that, hey, we were one of the first ones to sponsor a professional surfer. So we know that, hey, utilizing that, we're able to get into surf stores. Same thing with golfers. And so just kind of leveraging different athletes and partnerships to kind of expand our business and our credibility. But I mean, online, it's really hard to beat spending money online, you know, because it gives you all the analytics, you have all the data, you know exactly what's going to happen most of the time. So definitely pushing a lot more. You know, we write a lot of educational blogs as well. We've written hundreds and hundreds of blogs. I would say one thing that we would explore as well, and which we were already in talks of doing, is doing research, working with different universities. We're in talks with ASU and Cal State, or sorry, UC San Marcos, to do studies, you know, recovery studies, sleep studies. Those cost money, so we're right on the verge of doing that. So I would definitely do that because I think it's extremely important to have data behind what we do. So
Wonderful. That's a great, unique, very, very unique thoughts. Amazing. Thank you so much, Stephen, for sharing that. Adam, you're actually going to raise a round. So I think this question is, again, a very, very important question for your roadmap. How would you spend your marketing dollar and in order to acquire that acceleration and growth for your business?
So the $1 million is solely going to marketing, correct?
Yeah.
It's pretty easy. So we'll bolster our SEO. We did a pretty good job of introducing our SEO this year. So we'll put more dollars to generic and branded keywords.
Yeah.
Moving into direct marketing, such as Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
We'll increase our prospecting and retargeting. But with respect to prospecting, our core audience, when we did a user persona analysis, he's anywhere from 35 to 46 years old. He lives in a coastal city, has discretionary income. But during COVID, we have found that over 30% of our customers, or new customers for that matter, are female. They are buying for their husbands, brothers, cousins, uncles, etc. So we're going to put a lot more money into the female advertising market. And last but not least, I would say about 40% of that marketing budget, if we have time, we're going to seek out direct mailer. A ton of our competition is doing catalog business. And the way to do it in an efficient way is essentially we're paying for photo shoots already. This will only make our photo shoots better, and we can repurpose the same ads from our photo shoot now into catalog business and cast a much wider net throughout the country. And the return on ad spend on direct mailer is anywhere from like 5 to 8x after your second or third drop. And that's considerably higher ROAS when you look at traditional channels such as Facebook and Instagram and even TikTok right now. So we would spend $1 million fairly quickly, and I hate to say easily, but it would go pretty quickly.
Amazing, amazing. Very, 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 very unique answer and very distinct. And I think I really like the approach that you're thinking in that direction, because I think it's all about creating that space in the consumer's mind when you're doing things. And I think because ultimately the channels are getting cluttered and like there's so much of noise, and in order to create that distinct identity, you have to do something different. So I really like that. I really, really like that. How about you, Jodi? How would you approach it? And you have been in the business for a very, very long time. How would you do that for your brand in order to take it to the next level?
Well, my ad partner would be like so happy. They always want us to spend more money, but we're, you know, bootstrapped, we're profitable, but we're conservative. So I think we do a lot of Facebook and Instagram advertising, like exclusively. We do a little bit of Google branded. And here's where one of my pet peeves, or not pet peeves. So we can't afford, so on the good news front, we have built a brand that has equity. People know Bytten. If you Google Bytten, you will see Google ads that are, none of them are ours. And it's like random Nordstrom selling something that's related. They're using our keyword, our branded, which is legal. But I would like to be there. I'd like to be able to sort of say, this is actually us. And Etsy advertises on our behalf. And some of the things you'll see there are legit, but for the most part, it's our our name is powerful and we can't compete. So that would be probably my number one thing to try. I would, do more testing and segmentation of the current creative that we're running across the platforms that we're in. But one thing, and actually do a lot more with mobile. We have, most of our customers are on mobile and we don't really focus on that. But one aha moment that I had last year was in influencer marketing. And we had always seen, like if a blogger posted something about our product and we didn't know about it, and it was truly authentic and organic, it was like a beautiful thing. We would, quickly go check and see what's happening. Why are we getting so much traffic?
Yeah.
And anytime people came to us and wanted to do it intentionally, it backfired. So I kind of, for a while, shied away from influencer marketing because I thought it's never going to feel real. It's never going to be authentic. And I have had a transformation about that because it doesn't matter. So there's a platform called Trend.io. There's another one called Coley. And it's just much better to have somebody else talking about your brand than me. And there's a lot of bloggers or YouTubers or Instagrammers who just want product and a little bit of something to talk about on their own. And they'll post an Instagram story or something to their feed. And this is something new that we're trying, but it's nice to have more content and someone else's content because it's just a lot more meaningful. It's really better when it happens without you knowing, but I think influencer marketing is powerful, and I've stopped. I'm embracing it more heavily.
Wonderful, wonderful. You really added a very, very unique dimension to this entire conversation around how to how to approach marketing in a very unique manner, because I think all of you are in a very, very unique spaces, which has definitely competition, which ultimately is going to grow over a period of time. But I think the approaches that you have taken or you have shared right now is like almost like a tutorial in marketing. I think executed. It's like, because what's happening in today's world with existing channels, the audience is kind of spending so much of time either on mobile or desktop. And how do you create that distinction in your marketing speaks volume. And I think you all have approached it very uniquely, and it can really do wonders in the long run. I really like that. I think people can learn a great deal of insights from what you have shared, because it's really, really valuable. While we are coming to an end of this panel discussion, my last question for all of you is definitely about giving that one piece of advice to existing entrepreneurs or someone who wants to venture into entrepreneurship, and if they want to launch a business. What is that one piece of advice that you would like to give to them from your own experience that you have garnered over the years? Let me go to Aaron to begin with.
Sure. I guess show up every single day. If you're going to commit to your business, make sure that you have severe passion for what it is that you're doing as well, so that when you wake up in the morning, it's just, it doesn't feel like work. It's just another day of what you're doing, building, real value for others, and ensuring that, you're always having your end customer in mind, so that you're really adding the maximum value for your end customer, and they can be the brand extension advocate for you. And just really striving for, quality. Don't take any shortcuts. The second you start taking any shortcuts, your customers are going to know. And your brand is going to feel the pain from, that karma of you taking those shortcuts. So for us, I would say just really hone in on something specific too. There's a lot of shiny objects out there. If you can develop something really focused and niche and something that you're going to be developing a unique brand around, that is super valuable in 2021. There's a lot of very generic branding, a lot of very generic stores, very generic stuff out there. So the more that we can really add brand value to our end customer around whatever it is that we're selling, that's going to be key. And also just in today's e-com world, do your best to mastermind with other entrepreneurs out there and other, people who are running e-commerce stores. You know, we got a community over here in California with about 30 other CBD businesses. I sell a lot of their products in our storefront right here. You know, we mastermind with them. We have circles. We go to dinner on Sundays. We do yogas. We do hikes. You know, we're very engaged in our community of entrepreneurs around us locally. We focus on pets. A lot of our friends focus on very specific things. So the more that you can really build community and ultimate long-term value and without getting, you know, a lot of ego involved, you're going to be able to make a huge impact. And especially in today's modern world, you know, there's a lot of conglomerate type of mindset and a lot of, you know, just people who would rather take everything for themselves rather than, you know, have everybody eat at the table. So, you know, if number one, just be a good person and really stand by your brand with your values, establish your value set and stick to it. Because, you know, that's what's going to drive you from the bottom all the way up. So.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. Excellent, Aaron. That's a very, very amazing advice. Thank you for sharing that. Let me go to Kat. What is that one piece of advice that you would like to give?
Plan, and get a business coach. Keep yourself accountable. Take time for yourself. You know, it's too easy as an entrepreneur to forget about the things that you started your business for.
Yeah.
And, you know, by taking that time, maybe it's Sunday or Saturday or in the evenings, but take time to regroup so that you're starting fresh every single day or week. And I think everybody should read the book Profit First. Absolutely amazing. And definitely get a community of other entrepreneurs around you, because the more support you have, the easier it is to make it through those really hard days.
Wow, excellent. Thank you so much, Kat. That's amazing advice. Thank you. Let me go to Stephen.
Yeah, so I mean, they covered a lot of things that I would recommend. I mean, number one, first and foremost, is, you know, figure out how to add value into people's lives. I think if you can add value to someone's lives, you're contributing something. That's definitely a start. Number two, definitely be involved in business organizations. I'm in EO. I'm in St. Louis Sports Innovators. I'm a thing called Century Club. I join a lot of groups to network with my community, but to also meet like-minded individuals. That has significantly helped me and inspired me. Sometimes it's hard. Every day seems to be hard sometimes, but also then the most important thing for me in my life is having my routine, especially in the morning. You know, I wake up at 5:30. I go to the gym. I do a sauna. I take a cold shower. I do these things every morning. I shouldn't say every morning. I do allow myself to slip up every now and then, but 9 times out of 10, I show up for myself, and showing up for myself is one of the most important things. I know that no matter what happens with my business, because I know things are going to happen on a daily basis, I can always rely on myself, and I have that integrity with myself, knowing that I can count on myself, and it just sets the foundation for my entire life. And that one thing single-handedly has definitely shifted my life for the better.
Wow, that's a very, very amazing advice. Thank you so much, Stephen. Let me go to Jodi. One piece of advice from your end.
You guys said it all. Well, first of all, I'm going to go off road for a second, and I need to tell Aaron that my daughter just got a puppy named Bailey, and she's a girl, and she's a chocolate lab, and she's amazing, and she may be too young for CBD, but I thought you should know there's another amazing Bailey out there. Okay, that has nothing to do with the question, but I agree with what everybody is saying. I guess the taking care of yourself piece is huge. If I don't exercise, I'm not nice. I mean, I can't function. So that's one thing I make sure that I take care of. In terms of, you know, not a surprise given everything else I've said, I think when I became a strategy consultant, the group that I joined was launching a book called Best Face Forward. And this was in 2010. So this is a little old news, and it was about customer experience. And the premise of the book was that customer experience is the next frontier of competitive advantage. And that, I have embraced that. I mean, you need to have a value add. You need to have something that people want, whether it's CBD for pets or humans or clothing, or I hope I'm not missing anybody out there, but I think, but you also have to be differentiated. And it bugs me so much how many people have ripped off what we do. But at the end of the day, I have quality products and I take care of my customers and I listen to them. So I would say, know your customers, know where they are, know what they want. And even when it hurts, like just do the right thing by them, even when you know you're right and you want to scream.
Yeah. Wow. Amazing. Thank you so much, Jodi. Let me go to Adam. Final piece of advice from your end, Adam.
Oh, there were 5 people in front of me who just gave incredible advice. All of which I probably would have said in different forums. But the only thing I will say that I say time and time again is rejection is just a temporary no. I always say it's not yet, because I've been dealing with Nordstrom for 4 years and they've consistently said no to my face. And I look at that as a compliment, but just because like I know it's not yet, and I know that maybe you don't really understand where the market is heading. So during the pandemic, when they finally said yes, it just revalidates rejection is just something that you will have to deal with and time again.
Yeah.
Never take it personally. Leave your ego at the door. There's no ego in this. If you believe in your product, and obviously everyone else here does, you know you will have momentum and you know it'll all work out in the end. And just be extremely vigilant about what you do.
Wow.
If someone has some constructive criticism about your product, maybe listen to them. I mean, shake your head, say yes, thank you so much for it. Maybe there's zero validation to it, but maybe there is. So, rejection is temporary, and always listen to your customers, whether you like it or not, because they might have some really key feedback that you didn't see. Because, we're like, I always tell my wife, we were living in New York City, I'm like, sometimes I feel like I'm like a horse with blinders on, and I have no peripheral vision.
Yeah.
And it's up to your customers and other people to give you the feedback. And again, even though you might not want to hear it, smile, say thank you, and then sit on it and think about if there's resonation or validation in that. It's the only way you're going to make your product better.
Excellent, excellent. I must say, I really want to say this from the bottom of my heart that thank you so much. I think you guys have really, really opened up and kind of touched upon all those insights and learnings over the years that you have garnered. And it's really valuable because what you have shared today, more than ever, I think as an entrepreneur or as a decision maker or as a business owner, what we can do is empower others around us. And what you have done today is tremendous. And I must say, the kind of advice that you have shared, Aaron has touched upon passion and adding values to your end consumer and being passionate about what you do. Because ultimately, when you're passionate, work becomes fun and there's no distinction, and you always feel like how you can help your consumers all the time. And what Aaron has touched in the initial, like during the first few minutes, that he used to be on the call answering queries for the consumers. Wow, that speaks volume about why he's in the business. And if someone is able to do that, any business can achieve the scale that Aaron or anybody can think of. Aaron, thank you so much for being in the panel and sharing those excellent advice. Kat has touched upon a very, very important word that I picked up today: plan, 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 and make sure you take out time for yourself. Extremely important in today's time, because that's when you get time to think about what to do next. Because I think while we are doing so many things and juggling between marketing, sales, strategy, consumer experience, I think the time off will really help you in making sure that you are going forward in the right direction. Thank you, Kat, for sharing that. It's really valuable advice that you have touched today. And I think it really resonates in today's era that we are living in. Thank you so much. Stephen, I really admire what Stephen is doing, and Stephen has touched upon really something very valuable, that take care of yourself. I think his routine and how it is helping him in moving forward in that direction where he and his business is not just thinking about profit, but making sure that a part of its profit is empowering community. And he is kind of always making sure that if he's able to take care of himself, he can take care of his team, he can take care of his business to the best of his abilities. Stephen, thank you so much for what you're doing, and thank you so much for being today on the panel with us. Jodi, I must say thank you for sharing all the different dimensions about why you entered into the business and how you are distinguishing of what you're doing with the competition, and how your vision in making sure that your products are able to complement the consumer experience and how it can add value to end user. That's a tremendous advice that you have shared today. Thank you so much for being with us on the panel. We look forward to learning a lot from you. I think 60 minutes is a very small duration, but I think you touched upon all those points. It's really, really valuable. Thank you. Adam, I must say that you have already reached at the cusp where you have proved everything, and what you touched, rejection, means there's a yes coming somewhere. So I must say I'm going to take that really with me. I'm going to write it down every day, because I think on a day-to-day basis, we always feel like, oh, why didn't I get it, or why didn't it happen? It's just a matter of approaching it differently, or kind of taking those 2 steps backward in order to kind of introspect and then figuring it out. Because I think that the feedback or the constructive criticism that you can get from someone may prove really valuable in the long run, for either it's a product or it's a service. And I must say, thank you so much for what you do, and more power to you and your brand. And we look forward to seeing your brand everywhere with a lot of offline presence in the long run. Thank you so much. You guys have been excellent today. I'll be in touch. I'll be sharing the panel discussion recording with all of you, and we look forward to hosting you again in the future in our subsequent panel discussion, maybe on a different topic altogether. But I really want to say from my entire team at Enalito for taking out time. Thank you so much, and take care of yourself and have a great week ahead. Thank you so much, Jodi. Thank you so much, Alex.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you,
Take
Aaron.
care, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye. Good
Bye-bye.
luck.
Bye-bye.